Hey guys, Vanessa is on vacation, so I thought we could check out an early interview with an FBI agent. This was suggested by a subscriber named Russell, so thank you. And Lisa, I did see your suggestion on Crazy Days and Nights regarding an alleged situation between Steve G and Maddie. I'm looking into that. Thank you.
3 weeks and still no arrest in the murder of 4 Friends, University of Idaho students who were brutally stabbed to death in their off-campus home. The parents of one of the girls killed have become increasingly outspoken on the case, now saying there is a, quote, conflicting means of death between their daughter and her friend. Joining us now for more is former FBI agent and former Navy SEAL Jonathan Gilliam. Jonathan, welcome back to Wake Up America. So let's start with that. What conflicting means of death mean? Autopsy results are already out. The father of one of those students says the points of damage don't match. What does he mean by this, you think?
Well, to tell you the truth, I don't know what this guy means. I'm going to take a little bit of a turn on this because this individual, Stephen Gonzalez, I always butcher his last name. He's doing an interview. It seems like every 4 to 8 hours, and many of these different news agencies are putting what he has to say all over the airwaves, and they're not looking at the totality of the things that this guy says. He himself, not law enforcement, he says conflicting things constantly, and he says things that are very odd over and over again. I've worked a lot of different cases. I spoke to a lot of different law enforcement. In fact, one police officer who was a mayor of a town in Springfield and a 20-year police officer reached out to me yesterday and said he's never seen anyone that seemed like they have committed a homicide more than Mr. Gonzalez. Now that's something when we're looking at his statements that he is consistently making to the media, and the media is overlooking the fact that he is saying things. And I have some of the things that he says right here. He says that nobody in the room, that it was fast and nobody suffered. Right?
Yeah,
There's been no report
that?
on that. He's also said that he's just going to say it. This is a quote from Kaylee's dad. I'm just going to say it. It was leaked to me. I earned that. I paid for that funeral. I sent my daughter to college. She came back in a box. He went to when they had their service for all the 4 slain and made jokes and talked about the lighting. I mean, this individual is bothering me and many people very much. And if at the very least, he is causing law enforcement more problems, I think, than anything else.
Yeah, again, it's definitely confusing. I've heard him on these interviews say those things. Jonathan had read that. You wonder if he's a parent and grieving, if that's what he's going through. But definitely interesting. He also said something that caught my eye, that the killer chose to go upstairs. So want to remind our viewers of the home. So it's a 3-level home. The main entrance is actually like the basement area, and then you go up the 2nd floor. That's where a couple of the bedrooms were. And then you go to the 3rd floor where there were other bedrooms. So he's saying, this father, that the killer went up that 2nd floor and went through the sliding glass door. Have you heard any police reports saying that that was how the killer entered the home?
We've heard no definitive police reports that say that, although I do believe that is correct. I think when you look at the 2 individuals, the 2 females that were in the 1st floor, and that 1st floor opens up into a common living room type space. I guess there's bedrooms there, and those go upstairs. It's almost like a second apartment.
Yeah.
And the 2nd floor has its own main area, and then there's the 3rd floor. This Mr. Gonzalez, he continues to push out there details about this crime that nobody really knows about. We do know that people were killed on the 2nd and the 3rd floor. I personally have never heard any reports where they were saying that there was different types of attacks and ferocity amongst the different victims. The only person that said that is this same individual. And in the way that he talks about how his daughter and the other girl that was with her were sleeping in the same bed, that information was not released until he said it.
Right. Yeah, so I wonder if the police will come out, Jonathan, and kind of clear up some of these things because, of course, people want answers, right? Kids are back on campus. Winter break's going to start soon. They still don't have a suspect. We talked about the DNA with you. We have about 30 seconds left because there were so many people in that home. When do they get all of the DNA back, and what do you think it could tell them, especially if the suspect's not in the system?
What's going to be a tremendous help on the DNA is when they find DNA that's mixed. There's so many people in that house that there's going to be DNA spread all over the place. It's what DNA is mixed in with the blood on the bed, in and around where the 4 victims were at. Because this, again, I've said this from the very beginning with you on this network, that these were violent attacks. It was most likely a male physically fit enough to stand over 4 people and potentially have to fight these 4 people. But in any case, as he is stabbing, he's also losing skin cells, hair, and those types of things can be used for DNA that would be mixed in.
Yeah, and a lot of people say he may have cut himself in that process. All right, Jonathan Gilliam, thank you so much. We appreciate it.